Yes, have I finally remembered to turn my mic on appropriately? Potentially. Welcome to stream. Sorry, I'm a little tiny bit, just a little bit late. As unfortunately tends to be my reputation. But very little technical difficulties, so A plus. Very good. I remember having channel points. Yes, the channel points are new because I became an affiliate. Hello, Dirk, by the way. Yes, I'm an affiliate now, so I have channel points. I don't know what to do with those, but I'll try to think of some fun things for you guys. Because I think right now I've only put in the Roblox oof noise because I think it's hilarious. So, yes, there will be more at some point. One day. They're used to do a lot of different things, Colby. You can use them to... I think... Well, here, let me click it real quick. Highlight message, unlock a sub emote, send a message, the death sound. I think I have to delete one of those because one of them does it and one of them doesn't. But I don't think anybody's going to be getting 800 channel points in the stream because I believe we get about 320 every hour, I think, if I remember correctly. But I can add like a bunch of different things with them. I'm glad I checked this because I don't remember which one does what. So give me let me check really quick. You can do a lot with them. Mostly I've seen people use wacky sound effects. I will probably eventually add some stuff for model wise once I get around to modding those assets because I will have to draw them. Yes. I've seen a lot of examples of channel points being like have the streamer remember to hydrate, or have the streamer check their posture, or some other one. I've seen some VTubers have head pats, which I'm not sure if I will do. I will have to be convinced for head pats, but a lot of different things. I will probably have a channel point for Mr. Chanuki whenever I create him. He's still in the process of being created, so one day, maybe soon, but one day. Slight hair. Oh, thank you. Worked very hard on the hair physics. Although you can kind of see it, but not so much. Eventually, I'll have finished rigging the whole model so that I can move the whole body. But for right now, it's just the half body. And eventually, when I figure out how to do the Y movement, then there will be more. I hope. Sorry, I'm just double checking the channel point thing now because I'm looking at it. Which one does it? I'm checking. Is this one? Hold on. Is it this one? No. Wait. Okay, it's not that one. It's this one. Okay. Oh wait, no, I didn't put it on this screen. Oh, I have to add it to every screen. Oh no. Oh, my mic is low? Okay, hold on. Is this better? That's one thing I don't really know how to check beforehand, is mic versus the rest of the volume. I have to do this one. Is it this? Is it a bit better? Okay. This one. Ah, there it is, except it doesn't have. I didn't hear it play. Highlight for great victory, thank you. I will. It did work. The ones that you start with, the channel points, those ones work. Don't use the Roblox ones if you happen to get the channel points for it, because I don't know how to make them work yet. Um, I don't know why this one doesn't work. Because it's supposed to. And I tested it, but it just doesn't. Okay, well I hope my mic volume is a bit better. I think I usually have it like right here. So hopefully that's still okay. Um, but yes, I won't be streaming for the next few days until Friday, so I'll use that time to make sure all of the channel points and everything will be working correctly for the Elden Ring stream. Just gosh, I tested the one thing I made and it worked out of stream, but not as soon as I turn on stream. I tell you, I have at least 3 to 4 problems pop up as soon as I click go live that didn't exist before I clicked go live. One day I'll figure it out. Not today though. So let's get started, shall we? Once I remember which scene it is, it's definitely this one. Definitely, probably this one. Except for some reason, it's not showing the game. Why? I swear. For the love of God, hold on. This one. I believe in Streamlabs to work. Maybe I shouldn't. I hope you can't hear how much I'm tapping the keyboard, because it's a lot. Okay, we're ready. Okay, let's go. Alright. So we were left off at was basically the beginning of Trial 5, if I recall correctly. Your volume is good. I got a volume slider. Can you give a recap of what we've done so far in the case? I stepped out to make dinner last time. Of course. As far as what happened in the last case, what the last case could, or well, not the last case, but the last time I streamed, what basically happened was there were a lot of guns. People kept pointing guns at us or at themselves. Basically, Shloms was playing a viola for like the past couple of weeks because he thought it was his violin, his very expensive violin by a man whose name I do not know. I'm gonna try to get some sleep, have fun. Oh, well, sleep well, Derp. Take care. I wish you the very best. But yes, as far as the previous part, Shloms lost a very expensive violin. He came back what was basically a mall viola. We went back to the pawn shop. The pawn owner was like, you know, you're the one who picked out the wrong instrument, but you know, I'll kill myself to make amends, I guess. Was basically the end of that. Then we found Gina in the pawn shop, and she was like, I need this coat for some reason for the music disc that was apparently in the coat. And then we met a very fancy man named Egbert Benedict who also wanted the disc. And then from there, we went through a whole the game is afoot deduction thing. He was definitely a criminal of some sort, but we couldn't exactly figure out for why. I hope that's a good enough recap. I'm sorry it's very all over the place, though. Yes, it was a Stradivarius. Stradivarius. I don't know how to say his name first still. But yes, he lost a very expensive violin. But this is right after our confrontation with Mr. Eggs Benedict. Um, the police came because he pulled a gun on us, and pawn shops in this era seem to have a silent alarm somehow. Yes, the Curse of Strahd violin, famed luthier Strahd. Very expensive since the violins don't often make it outside of his domain. Don't worry about it. Oh, but Benedict got away because he literally just twirled away. See, this is why I hate grown-ups. This was the jacket that she very much wanted. That doesn't fit her or Benedict, but I believe we found out that it possibly belonged to McGilded, because the back of the music disc said for McGilded. So he's coming back into play posthumously, which is strange. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh, really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, the D let me keep it after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, before telling me to scamper. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them. I don't know if I could say that's true. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc. Ah yes, the music disc that we don't know what music it plays. But Mr. Windebeck said that it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash, give him a long, hard stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windebanks again today. Windebanks. I'll get it one day. Why not? That's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windebank. But the disc's mine. I had the ticket for the coat and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what the Rotten Cove said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Ah, yes, Mr. Eggs Benedict. Egbert. Well, then that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Maybe. Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's your fault, Schlumps. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this week? Why does he keep inviting people to dinner? Iris would be delighted to cook. Why does he keeps making Iris cook for multiple people? It can't be great. Oh! Thank you for subscribing, Ranieri. I'm sorry, I don't have alarms set up for subscriptions yet. Uh-oh. But thank you, my first subscriber. That's crazy. Let me look at my alert box really quick, because I don't have such a thing set up. I'm very sorry. I will add emotes for you very soon, I promise. I'm still drawing them. Uh-oh. Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Alert box, please. Oh no. I'm quickly clicking it. Excited for future emotes. I will have them ready for you at some point soon, I hope. I'm in the sketching stage for a lot of them still, but I have so much to do. Because I'm trying to rig a a live 2D jester hat because I love pain, I guess. But thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Oh boy. Let me wipe my face really quick to shed some tears. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will have all of these things soon. Hopefully by Friday. Definitely by Friday. Oh gosh, I didn't expect that at all. Thank you again. Okay. Back to Shlom's constantly making a 10-year-old cook for strangers for some reason. Why would I come around to your place? Have you lost your head? Ah, she ran away. Much like me. From confrontation or social interaction, I would also run away. Especially from Shlom's, to be honest. Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Once she's had the chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guests at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you. Oh, how exciting. What is it? You shall have to wait and see, Miss Susato. Until later. Let me take a second to double check. Okay. That should be turned on by now. I think we're supposed to go back to Shlom's suite. I guess was correct. Ah, Susie and Bruno. Ah, okay. I finally realized why my desk was vibrating. So my controller's still plugged in. Gosh, okay. There we go. I kept thinking it was like a phantom. Just a phantom phone vibration. I was losing my mind. But it's okay. My mind is probably still intact. Probably. Good afternoon, Iris. Haunted desk. Yes, more or less. Well, I kept looking at my phone like, who's messaging me? And then it was always blank, so I just thought, well then, maybe it's the phantom vibration people talk about all the time. Look at the time already. Time to make this 10-year-old cook dinner. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening. Oh god. It was the restless dead in the shrine. I hope not. I hope I'm the only restless dead in this shrine. I mean, I'm not. I'm definitely not mini ghost pretending to be something I'm not. Don't worry about it. Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Oh boy, here's the gun again. Why is everyone just... This is the trial where everyone has a gun. Look at those little eyes of her shining with the gun in her hands. We're not gonna talk about it? I guess not. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Guinea. Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise. Yes, that's wonderful news. Some wisps you haven't stuffed in the fox jacket yet. Oh, I'll catch them. I'll catch them later. Don't worry about it. They can have a free run of the shrine for now, while I'm busy. Iris seems overjoyed at the idea. Oh well, Iris and Gina are both young, so maybe they're friends. Except Gina doesn't know it yet. I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional. I mean, Herlock's kind of a professional. Oh yes, that does sound like fun. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you Mr. Naruhodo? That was an odd sentence. No, Iris, don't learn bad things. Iris is allowed to learn bad things. She can pickpocket if she wants to. Herlock does it all the time. By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Shlom's up to? He's been like that ever since he got back. That's not worrying. Hello, Mr. Shlom's. I beg that you won't speak to me, okay? I'm sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. Okay. Shlom's, we have lived in your home for months. This is very rude of you. As you can see, I'm not here. I don't know how to respond to that. Good job, Ryunosuke. I do apologize. When he gets like that, he's completely oblivious to everything. Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes. Really does. Well, he is a bit of a man-child, isn't he? Oh, I have ads now? I didn't think I turned those on. Uh-oh. Is that how I know you've made it? I guess so. Oh god. Don't worry. When I've made it, I'll have done a Raid Shadow Legends ad. But for now, I had no idea ads were even on. I didn't turn them on. I thought that was a choice. I'm very sorry. I had no idea that was happening. Oops. God, so many things have gone on this stream, and it's only I've only been live for like 20 minutes. I think 30 minutes technically, but I've only been around for 20 of those, I think. That's slightly distressing, honestly. Oh no. I was waiting to turn ads on until I added a thingy that was like supposed to tell you when they happened and stuff. Hold on. This is how we learn, Team Guinea Pig. The Roblox oof turned on ads. You got this, Suzu. Hang in there. Thank you. You're both being very sweet. I'm dying on stream. Don't mind me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm very professional. As I very quickly look for the thing that I saved for later. For when I did turn ads. I was gonna wait a few streams for them to turn to crying. You can't see it because I haven't finished the toggle yet, but I'm crying. Oh god. Where is it? I know I saved it. I'm losing my mind. Is it here? No. It's completely free. Oh god. Okay, I can't do it in the middle of the stream. I'll do it later. I'm so sorry. I really am. Oh god. Except that Iris is clearly the parent. Yes, the 10-year-old is the parent to the strange man. come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. Well, she said they weren't around. What's the matter, Bruno? You have ever such a funny look on your face. Oh no, it's nothing. I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sloams, you're wondering, am I right? Yes. How did you know? Oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book. This girl is dangerous. Yes. Yes, she is. Don't worry, you can ask me anything, I won't mind. Okay. Guinea. I think that means Gina. So by Gina, Guinea. Hold on. By G. Why can't I say her name by Guinea? You mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGildy case 2 months ago, right? Ryunosuke does wear all of his emotions on his face at all times. He does. He does. It's not particularly a feat that she's able to read what he's feeling. But she's still dangerous solely by just having a plethora of guns. Just so many guns. Enough that she could just lose them sometimes. Terrifying. Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. She says it's a smoke grenade launcher, but I'm still calling it a gun. Although after the trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. Oh, that's sweet. And now we're the best of friends. Oh, hee with a lovely tail. Now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Incredible. Oh. And I chase her. Oh my god, you chase her with a gun? Interesting idea of friendship. And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. You let her have it like from the smoke grenade launcher? Or do you let her have it like you hand it to her? There's so many beautiful colors in the world. Guinea wants me to make a whole rainbow. I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher. Okay. Doesn't shoot her. How to know you have a bestie? They run every time they see your face. Ah, yes. I recall when I had a bestie who ran away every time I briefly caught a glance of them. Just took on full sprint away from me down an alleyway as I shot a smoke grenade at them. That's how you show friendship. Definitely. 100%. I get bored of it anyways. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it. Poor Hurley. Ah, he's done a lot to deserve it, so I don't feel bad for him. I can't wait for Guinea to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I wonder if it's Guinea or if it's Jenny. Because it's Gina. So I assume it's with a J, but I've just been saying Guinea. It's probably fine either way, is what I've decided. I just hope she does actually come. She probably will. I assume she's going to. What about living with Mr. Sloams? I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you? Honestly, I haven't really been questioning it because, you know, it's the logic of the game. But I'll take reasons. I think it's Ginny, like gin and coke. Yeah, it probably is. That would make more sense. Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents? My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Ooh. Mommy passed away when I was born. And at around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because one of the cases he and Hurley were working on. Ah. That means he was her dad. Did you say he and Hurley? Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together. She didn't mention that before. He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there. He recorded them all. And then he was poisoned to death by Giselle. Yeah, he sure was. Boy, it's kind of upsetting. Actually, it's pretty upsetting, if I'm being honest. Like, that he was her dad. Like, don't get me wrong. Most people, when you hear about them, they're much more complex than just a victim. But if they're in the video game, they're usually just a victim. Like, they have just died, and that is their whole purpose in the video game, from a narrative standpoint. But the fact that he was not only the first victim, but also her father, is pretty upsetting, if I'm honest. Really, did have a partner with whom he tackled some of the most taxing cases. Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it? So Mr. Sloane's partner was your father. Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. But that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up. And he found your father's memoirs. Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. Also, his wife died. Yes, also that. Susanna is so happy that her OTP was real and not a... Ooh. God. Maybe she is. Maybe she was here for the Shlomes Wilson OTP. That's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father. So Iris's father was Mr. Sloane's partner. Iris's father, Mr. John Wilson, if I recall correctly. I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So it came to us quite a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my dad, I mean, oh, it must have. I wonder why Mr. Sloanes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Yeah. Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes. Right. Anyways, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all these thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything as soon as he solved the case, but it vanishes from his mind. Oh boy. Oh, I see. The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone. You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. Boy, alright. I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine. That's what prompted me to study so that I could earn a doctorate as well. Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. You know who it is, Ryunosuke. You know who it is already. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Ah, it all ties together. The snake eats its tail. That's right, the visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. The man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. I guess that's why Herlock was on the ship. Because he and Wilson had gone to Japan. Iris, I think your father is guilty of suppressing evidence in a murder case. No. He's the one who died. Or was murdered, really. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that would be for the best. 5 million IQ move. No. I think Iris should know. I think it would be good for her to know, but I'm not a parent, so I can't make child-related decisions. Ah, my dear fellows, how good it is to see you. Mr. Slomes. Why ever did you make your why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Oh, Schlums. Just kidding. Do tell me, Mr. Schlums, is your violin unscathed? My violin? Whatever are you talking about? Oh my god, did he forget already? Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows. Another music box disc. Not another disc, Miss Susanoo. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence, Mr. McGilden's disc. Uh-oh. Then, what's it doing here? I handed over that disc. You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think as though I have an undeniable turn for detection. I may well be even more adept at larceny. Yes. Schlums is startlingly good at just stealing things and pickpocketing and all sorts of like thief stuff. I'm telling you, he's a thief. He's a rogue by profession. Also, since Schlums apparently has the memory of a goldfish, he definitely doesn't know about Wilson's death if he ever did. The person who has to tell her is Ryunosuke and Susato, or the British government. Yeah, they might. Schlums does have the memory, well, he has poor memory, but a part of me thinks that he probably remembers how his good friend died. At least I would hope he does, because if he doesn't, that's unfortunate. Oh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant, and Reno could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught. Right, and we're with the gun again. Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting, she could write all of our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted. Don't agree to this, Susato. I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened. Plausible deniability. The music box disc. What do you have to tell us, Schlums? I don't understand. How did the disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this. Oh my god. Did he bribe Gregson with caramel? Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilda's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have nothing but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. I do remember that. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? I guess you did, since you're telling me you did. It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action, the bar of caramel. I pressed the disc and oh! Huh. Is that gonna work? He pressed the disc into the caramel so he has the imprint. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image of the caramel. Indeed, it's quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting, the result of precisely controlled solution. How extraordinary. Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press in its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. The disc gets put into the player is ruined forever by caramel. Unfortunate. Ah yes, the caramel disc. Do you tell us, Mr. Schlums, what music does the disc play? Did he actually find out? Or did he just come to show us after he was done? Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. Oh, good. None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not. Goodness, you don't know, Runo. This is very rude. Inside the music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music box to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protrusions on it. Yes. I watched somebody make a music box out of bubble wrap once. Very interesting. But over time, a new type of player was produced which uses discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe. Why exactly? Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result. It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present. Oh, this is the theme music on the music box. Or at least it sounds like it. Interesting. But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. We have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. Ah, I see. So that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. Oh, this is the music that it plays? As you can hear, to no avail. It does sound kind of, I don't know the word for it. Like, parts of it are missing. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this way. So, I'm presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe. Oh boy, alright. Every single one. That's Hurley for you, always taking things too far. Discordant. That's probably a good word for it. Because it's off tune and there's parts of it missing. But my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room. Oh boy. Magnus McGilded. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it has only been 2 months since the Grizzly case. Yes, since he, died in a flaming carriage that they heavily implied Van Sykes did. Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Ah, yes, this Chunbyo. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. I don't know what to say on the subject of Van Sykes, because is he like a wild vigilante? Or was this just like something that happened? Because sometimes things just happen. But I'm inclined to say that this wasn't something that just happened. I don't know. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash, not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. He is definitely wild. Yeah. I just don't know if he's that wild. I don't know if he's Batman, you know? Like a crazy Batman. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming it remains an unsolved case. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice Fired Mason. This game likes to make me trip over my words all the time, and it's difficult. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. I don't know. I still don't know if McGilded was guilty or not. Like, he could have been, but we just didn't have enough evidence. It would appear the case is not yet closed. Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner with my gun. Kitty will be here before long. Thank you, Iris. Well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie, there's plenty to do. I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Shrooms. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes. Well, you may be right. That reminds me of something Mr. Windibank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he? Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Shlom's latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe. Huh. So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windibank's storeroom gathering dust. My dear madame, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault. Oh boy. And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was it safe and secure? Well, there may be an occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from you now. Do you think we could get a good price for our kimono and pawn? Not exactly easy to acquire here, imported. I believe that Mr. Windibank said that he would give Suzato like 20 guinea for her kimono. So yes, I do think you could get a good price for a kimono, at least in this time period. It's like 20 or I believe it was around 20 to 25 guinea for her kimono. And then it was like a shilling for Naruhodo's sable suit. Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Bakersvilles. I should love to read it. Uh-oh. Ah. Why are we all surprised? What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room? Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Ah, I see Suzato poked around a bit. Well, that's because Miss Suzato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Slums, of course. But Runo, The Hound of the Baskervilles has never been published. When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet. I don't understand. That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was right time for the story to be made public, you see. So that's why the manuscript is at Windibank's. And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on? Ella's like, now we have something to fall back when she drags us into another fancy hotel. Yes. It's all coming out. Suzato rooted around the storeroom? Or what did she do to find that out? It would appear our guest has arrived. Ah, Gina. Miss Lestrade. This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going. Oh, alright. No, wait, Mrs. Shrod. She showed up and she ran. Oh, she came back. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Was it part of his effects, like in the dead doctor's personal office? I don't know. I don't think it was. Haven't we, Iris? It's a very somber atmosphere. Oh yes, just wait here, Jenny. We'll have everything ready to chip. Come along, Susie. With a gun? Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Mrs. Lestrade. Please make yourself at home. Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? Mendelssohn? What is that word? Is it alcohol? Mendelssohn. I won't take no for an answer. Meddlesome it is, then. Kitty. Wagahai. might be a composer's name, not sure. I mean, I suppose we could find out. Mendelssohn. Ah, yes, you are correct, Renari. It is a... Sorry, Renieri. Why did I say Renari? I want to die. I'm sorry. Renieri. It is a German composer, pianist, who died in 1847. Wow. What was he famous for? His famous works are Overture to a Midsummer Night Dream, Italian Symphony, and a Violin Concerto, 1844. Interesting. But good job! Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sloane's violin performance was in no way meddlesome. And Gina, as we all came to call her, taught us how to steal things from one another without being noticed. What a night! Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. How nice. Ah. It was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Iris's cooking was truly divine. And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sloane's violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. That's not good, Susato. I need to go now, but enjoy the rest of your stream. Oh, have a good night, Renier. Thank you for dropping by. Take care. It's just easy to multi-class into rogue. Apparently it is. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder? What's the matter? It's about the telegram I received. Oh, we're back on the telegram. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. I've been summoned. What does summoned mean? The telegram was from Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me. Lord Chief Justice. Tomorrow morning. Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Oh, okay. Ah, Iris. Good evening, friends. Hello again. Oh, Gina's here. So? Yes, Ginny's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us, wasn't it wonderful? Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques. We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we? I don't know if I'd like to go to a pickpocketing party. I think I would just get pickpocketed from. Because I don't think I can pickpocket from anyone. I'm too clumsy. I think I've awakened a natural talent I can earn a living from. I don't know if it's earning a living, so much as stealing a living. You might be getting ahead of yourself a little. So what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour? Well, you see, I came to return this. Ah, the armband. I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it. Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius. Yes. So anyways, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though. Ah, thank you. Good night. So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Jenny? I think I wouldn't fancy my chances with a lawyer that lives in a place like this. Yes, me too. Oh, that's very rude. It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she probably does. Yep. Assume she must. Here's my called shot. They wouldn't bring up the wristband if they weren't gonna bring back Kazuma somehow. They have to bring back the wristband to just remind you Kazuma existed. And Naruhodo wears it because it reminds him of him. So I'm just saying, Kazuma's still alive? Maybe? Probably? Definitely? I think he is. I think he's still alive. I'm just saying. I think he's still alive. I read a post recently about how the art of pickpocketing is falling off. Big money rich dudes carry credit cards, not cash, and they lock their financials down. Also, they are in private cars and buildings with security. Only guys who have dollars in pocket are on the bus are working stiffs. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, almost nobody carries real money on them anymore. So it seems like pickpocketing is really just, I mean, I suppose if you went to a fancy party, you could pickpocket jewelry that people were wearing, maybe. But otherwise, I don't see any, reason to. Oh, hello, Hopium Copium. It's been a minute, but you've turned to us again. I'm just saying, okay, they wouldn't bring it up. They wouldn't show us the band to remind us about Kazuma if he wasn't going to show up again soon, or if he wasn't going to be mentioned again. So, I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Okay, it's a possibility that I believe in. I am a TV scientist. Thank you for acknowledging this. The manuscript. I am a TV scientist, though I have not watched that much TV. I can recognize a story beat or pattern when I see one. I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time. Please. Why do you need time, Susato? Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris, not at all. I don't know what all this is about, really, but it's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This mantle script, or whatever you call it? It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's. That's right. I don't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Jenny, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner. They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right? Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though. And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down you see in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. Shimmering sad shoujo eyes, yeah. So where's your old man now, then? Oof. That's not a question you should ask, Ginny. He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land. He'll be gone for a very long time. Ooh, no, nobody's told her. So I've never really met him. And you never will. This is not good. This is all around pretty bad, I'd say. Pretty not super not good bad, I would have to say. Oh boy. God. I can't believe he's in Yomi no Kuni. He's probably fine. Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Well, let's go to this. Iris, this Hound of Baskerville story. I take it that's another tale. Inspired by your father's accounts. Yes, we just learned that. That's right, I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow from the other cases, I mean. I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that. It pains me to have to say this after you toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances. But why not? It's one of my best works. I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask me. Alright then, I won't. But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windibank. Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. That's mean, that's what it is, keeping secrets like that. Well, she is 10 years old. She's 10 years old, Gina. I'm sure Mr. Shlums isn't trying to be mean. If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason, since Shlums will talk about anything. I think so too. You lot are too trusting for your own good. But he can't pull the wool over my eyes. Shlums is just lying to Iris, I bet my life on it. Oh boy. Giselle is gonna show up in this attic to finish off his whole bloodline. She is still out there. She might. Uh-oh. Hurley's lying to me. Hurley's not lying to you, Iris. I don't think Hurley can lie to Iris, honestly. Well, let's talk to Gina. Slums' lie. Gina, what do you mean? What do you mean when you said that you know Mr. Slums is lying to Iris? Well, he reckons he popped the mantle script or whatever, right? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that? It's simple. But that story was really an old Windibank storeroom. There's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words you, could know about it. Ah. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Oh, she has a little backpack. I never noticed. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, the lot of them. You just haven't realized it yet. Well, I'm telling you, the mantle script ain't at Windibank's. You'd soon see if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Shlums is a liar like the rest of them. It's pretty bold of Gina to do. If I'm honest, I've wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I see. Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if you might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris. Tell us about your parents, Miss Lestrade. I realized that I don't know anything about your parents. I don't have any, have I? Never did have. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born, not even our moms. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones and make sure that they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, Divins my life. I love it. Divins or Divins? I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything right. But having listened to what Iris just said, it sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. I mean, if you know you've never had them, you don't feel like you're always wanting to meet them. That's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. Oh, Iris. That's upsetting. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Jenny, we should go back downstairs. And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, okay? No, of course not. Good night, Iris. And good night, Gina. You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning, I insist. Oh, yes, please, I can't wait. Did Iris never meet Wilson? No, Iris never met Wilson. I believe that's what we were told a little bit ago. Because Iris thought Herlock was her father. Did you have a better relationship with him than she ever? Did you have a better? I hope not. As his accused murderer, I hope not. Iris, it sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. But deep down, she's still just a child because she's 10. She's 10 years old. Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhoto-san. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris' father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a coincidence. He was your teacher. You went over to the table to greet him in the first place. He was a teacher. I don't know if he was, well, because Naruhodo wouldn't have recognized him either way, huh? If he wasn't, at least. Potentially. There's something deeper going on. It's a lot of dots. It's a lot of dots from Ryunosuke. Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. That voice. That's Mr. Shlums. Oh, hello? Is it still nighttime? I don't think so. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. Gina. She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home. I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Tsuzato. No, I don't believe the girl's gone home. But I've been waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour. If you'll indulge me, look out the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? Wait a minute, why is there a light in this time of night? That's Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windibank's. No. It's simple. If that store was really an old Windibank storeroom. She went to check. She went to go see if Windibank really had the manuscript or not. I think the baseline of knowing him by sight and actually having talked to him face to face is a low bar. You still have over Iris? Oh no. I think you're right though, unfortunately. The timeline for Iris not knowing her father, but thinking Herlock is her dad is kind of odd. Because, I mean, Wilson died like, right before we got here. Which means Wilson has just been gone for a really long time, just in Japan or with Herlock and never at home. Or at least that's the impression, I believe. Could Gina have gone? It seems you may have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh no. No, not really. Well, anyways, we must investigate at once. Susanna. "16th of April. Oh, this is about like almost 2 a.m. The door of the Windibanks is open. And the lamp is burning. Ah, so this is the start of the trial, isn't it? Let us hope it is nothing more sinister. There's not a moment to lose. Clearly something is afoot inside. There's no one here. Oh yes, there is. Oh, what? Excuse me? Mr. Shlomes. Is Susanoo taken? Has Shlomes been shot? Oh! Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. After them. Hold on. Oh, wait. Wait a second. If Mr. Shlomes has just been shot, why would you run after the people who have shot him? Because I wouldn't. They just shot a man. I'm not running after them because I'm not going to get shot. I will stay with the guy who did just get shot, though. Last. I've lost them. What? Hello, what have we here? Oh, it's a Bobby. The alarm was just raised in the pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Shlomes. He's been shot. Shot? The policeman close behind me ran back to Windibanks. Oh. Oh no.
Mr. Shlomes!
Mr. Naruhodo!
How bad is it? Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
Oh.
It's Gina!
Really? We're gonna... Okay. Yeah, sure. To be continued after that. Sure. Good. Cool. Good. Great. Nice. Cool. Good. God. Okay. I'm also never ready for any of their voices because they just I assume they maybe they learn British English. So sure, I guess that's what they sound like. But it's so weird. What kind of ending is that? Mr. Shlom's got shot by like some Mario and Luigi ass looking silhouettes, and then Windabank is dead, and Gina's also there. I don't know what to make of it. We're gonna go a little further. I tend to end on to be continued, but we're gonna keep going just to see. Oh, she has the gun. Windabank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed to go back to my lodgings in 221B. Iris. Any money on you being wanted for murder again? Potentially. Well, but actually I don't think so because Shloms is still alive. But it was a thought that crossed my mind when the Bobby showed up. A telegram came, but all it said was wait at home. Oh yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Curly and Guinea were gone, everyone was gone. Ugh, that's not great. What happened, Bruno? Where she's from? She is 10. She's obviously trying very hard to not let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm just checking my settings. While there was a cutscene and everything playing. Because I have ads turned off. I don't have them turned on. So I'm confused about what's happening, if you're seeing them or not. So strange. I don't know what's going on with that. No, I only saw one at the very beginning. Ah. That's very odd, because I thought I wonder if that just happens when you become an affiliate, if it just is like, alright, there's an ad now before people watch your stream. Because I didn't want that at all. Yeah, because I have them, yeah, because I even have pre-roll ads disabled, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. I'll have to look into it a bit more after stream, I think. But yeah, I didn't want to make you guys watch any ads at all. It might just be something that Twitch makes happen. I'm not sure. I'll do more research and look into it. Well, let's talk to Iris in the meantime. Ooh, there's a lot to go over, isn't there? I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead. He was shot. We discovered in the early hours of the morning. Oh yes, I had a feeling. I did. Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside of the shop, so I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Windibank's in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out on the street and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windibank, I suppose. I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Why not? Because Gino's holding the gun. They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect. Gino. Ginny. Why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry. There's nothing I could do. Alright. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the 2 thugs that were at the scene? Why weren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? No, Hurley's not dead. I hope. No, I mean, Mr. Slums isn't dead. Okay. Although, this is also horrible. The thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. Ah, yes, another locked door mystery. Or locked room. Yes, locked room mystery. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no. And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me there's no one else in the room. Yeah? Exactly, how did you know? It's the only explanation. Yes, the only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Runo? Well, what can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. Yeah, you sure are. Let's talk about Schlums. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? We really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Schlums. Ah, I see I was supposed to go in order. He was taken to the hospital this morning. Because in that conversation, Iris already knew he was shot. Oops! When he entered Windibank, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet. It's alright, his life isn't in danger. Really, are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Sinner's. They're tending to him there. I must see him at once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member, I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate. To operate? I suppose they have to remove the bullet. Oh, poor Hurley. I hope Iris had some really good dreams because the waking world came down on her like a ton of rain. It sure did. It sure did. It's not great. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windibank's shop. They shot Mr. Sloane's when we disturbed them. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After that, I ran out into the street, but they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away. I think that's a very good thing. Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well. That's true. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Poor Iris. This is just such a shit. This is just so bad. It's so bad for her. Where's Susie? She's at the police station. Maybe this is a good time to tell her about her dad. She's having a really bad day. Just rip the band-aid off. Oh, that's so terrible. Hey Iris, I know you're 10 years old, and this is a really traumatic day for you because your like father figure slash best friend slash the person you trust the most in the world has been shot and is in critical condition. Also, another person you trust and like has been shot and is actually dead. Also, another person that you like who you're trying to be friends with is accused of murdering that guy. Also, your dad's dead and I was accused of murdering him. What a terrible, terrible world this child lives in. I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished with her for a while. Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals, so they weren't questioning me for that long. And Miss Suzawa stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sloan, so they didn't get started until later. The day is already shot. Might as well. No pun intended. I think that pun was extremely intended. I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. Oh, that's nice that they considered that, I guess. You should have let me know. I would have come to the station. Woof. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sloan and Gina are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child with me to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me? Yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sloan is probably in his hospital bed. And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. And so we will go to the hospital. A new location. Oh, I love ad crims, don't you? They're so exciting. Oh god. This place feels different than normal today for some reason. You know, I think a visit to this place could be a good idea. I haven't been to this place yet. Don't forget to take me when you go. Sorry, I'm just reading all of Iris's little blurbs. Let's go to the hospital. We'll handle Shlom's here. St. Sinners Hospital. Ward 3. Hurley. Oh, he's gone. He's not here. No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby and the bullet wound wasn't as bad after all, so he's been sent home. I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sloan suffered. Oh. Hello, hello, what do we have here? Oh, Bobby again. This word is off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing in here, huh? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin. Huh? Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery lover has a mysterious family. If that's how you see us, sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he is currently in the operating theater, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation. Oh, right, this was when operations were done in like a theater setting. Extensive. It has been several hours since he went in. Oh dear, is he going to be alright? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthesia. You know what the word is. You know what the word is? Don't make me say it. I have heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Would coffee make an anesthesia not work? I don't know. Anyways, I think it'd be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later. We in Nosuke here to pop every bubble a pub Iris can have. He sure is. Anastasia. Of course. We'll always have Paris. Well, maybe we can examine a bit before we go. There's a notice board on the wall here. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron. Huh. Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine. If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients. Rats and mice. Oh, I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose. But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear. I certainly hope so for Mr. Slum's sake. Do rodents really like to eat medicine? I think that they would be adverse to it. Oh, there's some crutches. Haven't you ever seen crutches before? Oh, do they not have crutches in Japan? Strung out junkie mice, I guess so. Alright. I thought they were weapons of some sort. Why would there be weapons in a hospital? I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in battle. Oh boy. And been brought here along with his weapons. That's surprisingly plausible. Ooh, and this is the bed Hurley was supposed to be in. Yep. Poor Hurley. I know, it looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it? Oh, I don't think that will bother him. No? I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world. Hey. Me too. I used to be able to sleep like that. Not anymore so much, though. I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that. Well, I don't think there's much else to look at here. So we will go back. I suppose we'll go to the prison. Ah, Gina. Oh, she's wearing the coat again. Hello, Gina. Why does she still have the smoke grenade? In prison. Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. I wish you wouldn't point at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Jeannie. I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble, so you're thinking we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. You've heard. Get lost. Don't be like that, Jeannie. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone, I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw my chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay my hands on, get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny... I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. Huh? There's another lawyer? There's like any other lawyer? But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need a lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? Legal representation. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? He wanted me to sign some papers, representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyways, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? Because that's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers or worse. If it had to happen before and all. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snapped on the back for it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. Soon as you do, you're gone to grass, dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial— oh, forget it. Jenny, don't you trust Runo? Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. What happened? Well, you tell us what happened, Gina. Last night, at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me, and you know the rest. We don't know the rest, actually. But why, Ginny? Why did you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point of that anyways? Nothing I could say could make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Jenny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me, don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. Oh no, she's too tsundere to defend herself in court. Yeah, she does seem like that, huh? What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? Okay, tell us, Gina. What do you mean before when you said you're the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Jenny, please. Oh yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. It's a little kitty picture. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. Kitty. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it. Mr. McGilda's cat? I wonder what a little photograph like that is doing in a pocket of an overcoat. Anyways, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Jenny. White cat photograph has been entered to court record. Sweet little white cat obtained for Gina. Well, that will be important later. Well. Well, let's go to Baker Street. Oh god, I'm dying. Sorry. Oh my god. Hold on. You know when your soul tries to escape? Just out of your throat? It's a normal occurrence for everyone, right? Right. Oh, okay. We're just looking around Baker Street real quick. But it doesn't look like there's anything except for like a bobby carriage. Yep, outside window banks. Never imagined we'd been investigating a case so close to home. She's very upset by all of this. I'm sorry, I was there. I should have done more. None of this is your fault, Runo, so please, don't apologize. But it's the criminals who are to blame for all of this. So let's investigate and work out how to catch them. Okay. Well, let's go inside the pond. I'm not a fox demon, so I don't have a bunch of souls in me. Now, let's not throw around the word demon so lightly. That's, you know, I'm just a friendly spirit fox. Definitely a kitsune. Very, very friendly neighborhood spirit. Don't worry about it. Anyways. Oh, animation. This is where it happened. Last night. That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Boy, I heard that. A Bobby? Oh, it's Greg's. Sorry, that was racist. Kitsune-shaped soul sack is better. You can just say yokai. Spirit fox sounds friendlier, though. Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame to let the two rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Grexy. Now look at what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Shrine Guardian. Yeah, I suppose that's also true. Your ladyship. His eyes. No one told me you were coming. I expect you to take full responsibility for what's happened to Hurley. See, he has the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak. And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. Oh my god. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about personality change. Well, Iris does treat him with an amount of respect, I suppose, paying for his appearance fees and whatnot. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice? What is happening right now? Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you'd like some. god, the pinky is all the way up. Ah, lovely. To very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. What is this face he's making? I don't even recognize him like this. Well, I suppose we're going to talk with him. The investigation. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it really. Very simple case this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge the driver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? Oh, the diver, not driver. That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How? How could you possibly know that? Well, she is a child genius. I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Shlums, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held in prison. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Let's talk to Mr. Shlums. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Shlums? What is his condition? So I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Is his condition really confidential? Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy, no visiting at all. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to even make the one and only Shlums pipe down. Mr. Shlums is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well anyways, he's having emergency surgery right now. We've got to stop the bleeding. Ooh, without anesthesia. But he'll be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better? Of course, your ladyship. He'll be right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? Well, how do I know? Well, because, of course. Yeah, because Mr. Shlums is such a great detective. That's why. Okay. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear, please don't die early. Woof. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. And lastly, your ladyship. Couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper. We don't go into favoritism. But he's right. You do treat us differently. It's 'cause of those Adventures of Herlock Shlums stories. That's why. Oh. I crop up in them, don't I, Inspector Tobias Gregson? Well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the Inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Shlom's lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? And you know what that one line did for me? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Oh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They all read the Herlock Shlums stories. They've even set up a fan club for me. Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me. Don't say that. Can you blame me? All it'd take is one bad word from you and Shlums that could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if it came out in print. The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it. But that would never happen, Gracie. Every month, when the new Rots magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. Cobb denies favoritism in the presence of favorite author, from whose household he regularly takes fish and chips money bribes from. This greasy Cobb. You know what? I can't blame him. If I was in his situation where my pay was doubled and my whole livelihood depended on this one 10-year-old and this extremely eccentric detective, I would be the same. Ah, lovely. Tub very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Total. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. I've got an important message from you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message. Maybe from the Chief Justice? Because Susanoo was supposed to go visit him? Are you going to tell me? It's about Susanoo. Okay. Here's Susie. She's at the station, being questioned, I believe. Oh, nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Right. I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have... She asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go meet her there. She's got nerve using Scotland Yard as a blooming messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on. Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me, but I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Well, I know they said to go head over right away, but I don't think there's anything here to look at, so we will move. New location. Ah. Susie's waiting. We need to go and meet her. We do. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think that's normal. How so? I mean, look at the suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. Oh. There they are. Susanoo-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what did he just say? Susanoo's returning. Your return to your homeland. Susanoo-san. I like her boots. I never realized Susanoo wore, like, some boots. Oh, and Mr. Naruhodo. What was that all about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What was this all about? Why are you talking about Miss Susanoo's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? Tomorrow. What about Ginny's trial? You mean... she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Man, things are just going all the way down the drain. Okay, Susanoo. Why are you going back to your homeland? What is this all about? Please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue. That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no, Mr. Mikotoba. Professor Mikotoba. If I may. Yes, this is from the first trial. Professor of Forensic Medicine at Ume University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mr. Zato's departure as much as possible. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. Well, that's very unexpected, and I hope it has nothing to do with Giselle. So Gina's been charged. She'll have to appear in court. Yeah, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the day of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. Not even 24 hours later. Gina, the Lestrade girl from the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. In an all too transpicious case, the pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is without wasting time on open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Jenny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo, in deference of your fine services today, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave. Now. That's so rude to Iris. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. 3 minutes precisely until our next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart, which is... It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do it? Well, we visited her, so we know why. I questioned you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her in the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Suzato-san about to leave. Wonder if this is setting up Iris as the new assistant. Come, Mr. Naruhodo, Iris, we must make haste. It's Susie. You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Mrs. Otto. It's a very pensive look. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, Iris. That sounds like a good idea. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Oh boy. Okay. So we're going back to the prison to talk to Gina, I guess. Hello again, Gina. Oh, with the gun. It takes so long to load. Let you lie here for now. Have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look. You can come as many times as you like, but they ain't got nothing more to say to you. I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. Tell Sudara to bring a bunch of cheap kimono when she comes back. We'll make a killing. If she comes back. A whole 100 plus days from now. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put your faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. It's my fault, yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. Oh, Susanoo, ever so insightful. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about the trial? The one where Magnus McGilden was acquitted. The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? I suppose that's a yes. Gotta go, Susie. Going out to dinner. Had a good time hanging out with you today. Oh, happy Valentine's Day to you too. To you too, Colleen. Have a nice pre-Valentine's Day dinner, and thanks for hanging out. Take care. The trial 2 months ago. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. coppers got a hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. Based on your testimony, Mr. McGilder was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about the whole bunch of stuff. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubby hole. I couldn't see a thing. And then I heard that loud thud like someone falling on the floor. That's when Mr. McGill discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see by. When I looked at my hands, I had the cove's blood all over them. I was so scared I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then Mr. McGill started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you're hiding under the seat. Yes, he did, only that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Yeah, that makes sense. Threatened you. He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard, and about what he was going to do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. And if I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Ooh, boy. What did you see? You said McGilden made you swear not to tell anybody about what you saw. But you were in pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilden sitting above your head if I remember correctly. Yes, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor, I let out a little scream, you see, I couldn't help it. McGilden heard that, dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. I was on the floor next to the old geezer, what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc? Oh, this was over a music disc. What do you mean? Yeah, that's it. The one with the D took off me at Windibanks. Ah. So the music box 6 was there on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long. McGilda spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it inside of his pocket. So that disc was on the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me. I went to mutter a word of it to no one. What did you hear? Because it was so dark under the seat of the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably, that was McGilda getting on board. No, not only him. Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilda, the victim. Mr. Thresh fired Mason. I want to say fried every time. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGill claimed that he slept during the carriage ride. But whenever I'm in the carriage, taken with a fierce tiredness, I always succumb to it. And your own testimony, Gina, supported this. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them were asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time in low voices. What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses on the wheels was too loud. Mr. McGill and the victim knew each other. So McGilda was lying, as I suspected. After the event. I knew it weren't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, Matilda told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two coves from up top ran off to get the coppers. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right. And after they'd gone, McGill asked for the driver to do him a favor. Now then, fella. What I need you to do is take this coat of mine, deposit to the nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. Boy, so many people were in on this. A nearby pawnbroker, I mean on Baker Street. Yep, you got it. It was Windibank's. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGill opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions. McGilda's conditions. What were McGilda's conditions? Letting you go free. Not telling a soul, not for anything, about what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more. Yes, this is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts, and I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? But you want me to have the ticket? That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright? And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop. Windibank, so it is, and you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come by and buy it. Yeah, but I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5, that should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. You go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. Coppers, aye. Look, I'm asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say? What is it that you want? Wow, this goes real deep, doesn't it? After he'd gone over it all, I piked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So Miguel had planned it and coerced Gina into giving a false testimony. Oh, he sure did. I bet you're ready to string me up. I lied in that big old courtroom, told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went back on in the slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other getting by together. So you mean McGilda would have? In a heartbeat. He would have had a lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where would we have gone, huh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. I'm in for it now, huh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need the paperwork, or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Slomes was shot, you see. What? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Jenny. Is it bad? Is he going to be alright? Slomes is going to be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Slomes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Mrs. Otto. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me though. No lawyer or nothing. Poor Jenny. She seems so lonely. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibanks now. Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Jenny when we're done here. It feels like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. And anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating at Windibanks. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Ah, another to be continued. Ooh boy, I don't know what I think about this. It's kind of wild, isn't it? All this McGilded stuff is coming back up. Let's save. Yes. As is tradition, I'm going to play Cosimo's theme. We are going to stop there for the trial, though. Thank you for joining me. I think it's quite interesting, honestly, how the story is going, and what's happening with all of that. I hope the volume's okay. Hold on. That feels a bit better. I really hope that it all sort of works out. At least, and that Mason gets some bit of justice, I suppose, because it always felt quite strange, honestly. Ace Attorney's thrown me for a couple of loops now. I'm not sure what to think about it. This is my first Ace Attorney game though, so I'm very surprised about everything that's happening. But, next time on Dragon Ball Z, or at least next time we visit Ace Attorney, it will be the examining part and then the trial, I think. And I suppose we'll finally figure out, maybe, if Van Zeeks is really like a wild vigilante who just kills people. We're not sure. But anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Next time I stream will be Friday, and it'll be the Elden Ring stream. I will be trying to beat Morgit. I'm not allowed to stop playing Elden Ring until I beat him. I have no idea how long that will take. I will have channel points though for you guys, so look forward to it. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Take care and have a great night. I'll see you guys on Friday. Please let me know if you do have Twitter or would like to, what sort of channel points you might like to see. Because I don't know. But I will have them working by then. But anyways, take care. I may or may not do like small impromptu streams before Elden Ring. I'm not sure yet, but regardless, I'll see you then. Good night.